but we have the intellectual capacity to frame a conversation. You understand? Let me now conclude by making you sad. The Nigerian Civil War was planned on the campus of the University of Ibadan. Somebody has to write a book on that, in which the Vice Chancellor, a prominent historian, you already know I'm talking about, was also using his house to frame the project of the Civil War. You understand? And I'm not criticizing him, because when you cut segments of a conversation, it becomes a problem to those who are interpreting it. I'm not criticizing him. The Nigerian Civil War was led by an educated person who trained in England, one of the very first to have a degree to join the Nigerian army. The debates about Ironsi was framed for him by those who went to school on a unitary government. You understand? It is not that these intellectuals have not been talking, but they are also embedded in this very project you want to solve. So in the final analysis, you see how interest governs politics. And as interest drives politics, the very fact that you have a PhD doesn't mean you will take.
And so these are all the things that are happening. So there are reasons for everything. For instance, all the noise you're hearing now about politics in Akwa Ibom, Edo State, Rivers State, and rest of it. It's funding. Elections are coming. Who will man the purse? I was speaking with Obasanjo one time, and he told me, he said, he listed some things. I said, those are the things that are necessary to find the chart. Should I find the chart?
Find the chart. That will be interesting.
I'm just going to read the chart. He said, so no, for him, it was like he thought I was going to go into politics. So he was very happy when I was talking with him. He said, Ali, I'm happy that you are now.
I don't know what kind of witchcraft you practice, because I was going to ask you
about the relationship with him.
No, not just about him. You said he thought you were going to go into politics. I was going to ask you why.
Why I did not. Okay, so no, I'll get to it. So he says, hey, wait, okay, yeah. He says, Ali, yeah, I'm going to read that. Ali, I'm happy you are catching on with politics, but you still have a lot to learn. And I said, like what, sir? He said, like how you get governors and presidents elected. So you need 7 governors to win an election. Lagos, Bayelsa, Delta, Rivers, Kano, Kaduna, and the CBN governor.
To win at federal level, a
presidential election. You need 7 governors. 1, Lagos. 2, Bayelsa. 3, Delta. 4, Rivers. 5, Kano. 6, Kaduna. 7, the CBN governor.
So you just, without, even if you are a political novice,
you know what all this means.
Understand the permutation.
Exactly. And so when I said, but Kano and Kaduna don't have much. He said, that's for numbers.
For numbers. True. For numbers.
He said, and what is money? That's numbers too. All right. He goes to say, you need 44 of the most popular senatorial districts. He said, you need to have awarded 10 contracts, and 15% of that contract can give you marginal impact at the polls. And you must award these contracts in your first year of assumption of office.
Whoa.
Because if you don't do that, then you can't ask the people for anything. Because when you give them at the first year of your getting into office. When it's time for elections, you just tell them, do you want to continue this contract or they know what to do. He said, you must name your CGN, you must name your IGP, you must name your Controller General Customs, you must name the head of the NNPC, you must name your CBN governor. And if you want to get into the judiciary, you must suspend pending cases of corrupt past governors who are loaded. Don't forget that those guys have chests.
War chests.
War chests that's just sitting down waiting for who they want to align with. No matter how much EFCC milks from them, they still have plenty. These are people who were sitting on a monthly federal allocation. Don't forget that. Sometimes when, your federal allocation, like some states will mention, when they get their federal allocation, they don't touch it. They actually add to it because their state internally generated revenue is higher than what the federal gives to them. So if federal government gives them 3 naira, they can add 4 naira to it and spend 7. So when they leave office, EFCC can't come look for them because they added money to what federal government gave them. But you see that internally generated revenue, that is their sweat, as it's called. It's their money. They generated it themselves. They can determine anything they want to do with it. Lagos State internally generated revenue is higher than what federal government gives them.
So Obasanjo just seized it for like forever.
They call this bluff.
Nobody cared.
They call this bluff. That's what we used to pay salaries. Just, And then it says, yes, this is the meaty part of it. Say, get US or China support. Because of their businesses in your country, they would support whoever. You had the fallout from the Senate in this thing that said how they helped Buhari to get into office and remove Jonathan. National Association of Nigerian Students. NANS. Market Women.
NURTW.
Unsettled the organized labor.
Settle or unsettle?
Unsettle. Now, organized labor is where you then have people who protest. We are not this, we are this, and we are supporting that. We don't like this. All of that. There's one other. Get 10 of the richest Nigerians on your side. And we know the usual suspects. Infiltrate opposition parties and let them decamp before election. So, you have your party. I want to infiltrate the party. I'll send my people to leave my own party and join your own party before the elections. So when the time of elections comes, they will then disrupt the whole thing. They probably will be the ones they put in charge of electioneering campaign. You won't know that the reason they decamp from that side was to make sure that your own campaign doesn't succeed. So when you are planning and saying, no, this is what we'll do this, they inform those people that this is what they plan to do. So by the time...
And later on, you will hear they are going back to their old party.
Exactly. then somebody did it when he said, he was supposed to be, I think Ashiwaju's campaign guy. Then he left to go and support the guy from Kano. Sometimes when these people say some things, you have to respect this. Infiltrate opposition parties and let them decamp before them. Buy delegates 1 year before your congresses. 1 year before the congresses, buy them. So I asked, how do you buy congresses? It's okay, so this is what you do. You know who and who will be selected as delegates. You can permutate and say, this man will be delegates in another 4 years. You give 2 of his daughters jobs in a bank. You give this other person's wife a shop in so and so place. This other person wants to go to Hajj, they go to Hajj. This one wants to do something. When the time for election comes and you say, this is the person I'm supporting, because of those people that you have given, they won't mess up. While some people are trying to raise money to give dollars to some people, you already have bought their loyalty since. Have a hand in appointing all party chairmen, all parties chairmen, all parties. So it's not. So when you hear that 2 people are gunning for an office, and you are not in the party, you call the other parties running against him, say, you want to be chairman, we'll fund you. Right. Secure INEC and state rec, blogs and social media, religious leaders, royal fathers, appointment of board of chairmen and DGs. It says, refer to number 2. Get 4 constitutional lawyers on retainership.
Brethren, we are here once again. The news coming out of we country says the APC national chairman, Yewada, warns political appointees that you can't hide behind technocrats title to avoid political responsibility. As they say, to whom much is given, much is expected. And I know those who said Bola Tinubu will use state police, forest guard, and the rest to run 2027. They are right. They will be always right. They are right not because it's Bola Tinubu or it's Nigeria or it's APC. They are right because that is woman attributes. To the appointee, you guys want the prestige of power without the price of accountability. Political appointee hide behind the technocrat label to dodge the messiness of governance. Why political opposition party think they can manufacture a mass movement 6 months to an election, both a fatal delusion. Real power isn't gifted through title, and grassroots machine ain't built overnight. It takes 4 years of relentless precinct-level trench work to change the map. In other words, we'll be attacking today's conversation from 2 angles. I said it before, and I'll keep saying it. Bola Tinubu started his campaign the very day, or should I say, the next day he was sworn in. Appointment started that same day, and up to this moment, as we speak, appointments are still going on. And the APC national chairman has come to say, hey, anybody that receive appointment under this administration, it's time you realize that part of the contract so that I scratch your back, you scratch my back. Me scratching your back means that the appointment was given to you among tens and millions of Nigerians. You were chosen there. You're choosing for a purpose to do the work of the state, then to do the work that gave you that foundation, which is the party. So the party need you now, never before. So you have to use that newfound access, privilege that was given to you by APC. You have to put it to work. All we ask for you is to talk to your friends, your neighbors. The APC is the way to go. It's that simple. Now, what does that tell you? It means that the state police that Professor Chid Ndika Kanu carry pull for head went on media campaign for weeks, days and weeks. saying that Tinubu will take advantage of the state police, as if he's saying anything extraordinary or something new or something that he will not take advantage of if he is in Bola Tinubu's shoe. That's by the way. But my disagreement or pushback to him is that it doesn't matter what time, what day of the electoral cycle a policy was enacted. If that state police, forest guards, tax reform, or whatever it is, when the administration bring a policy to the public, he or she will take advantage of it either now or later. So the time here is irrelevant. Only a political Jew, a novice, will actually be fictitious on that. But again, on one note is to criticize, but in the bigger picture is to campaign for his preferred candidate. That's what that was about. So the national chairman of APC telling all the political appointees of the government to dust off their boots and get to work is an expected assignment. You see them every day, every time. An administration, every time an administration, you see them every time an administration hits turbulence. Suddenly, the architects of failed policy screw up their ties. You see them every time. Every time an administration hits turbulence, suddenly the architect of failed policies scrubs their ties. Step back from the podium and whisper to the press, I am just a technocrat. I don't do politics. And a clear example of that is a man called Dr. Anthony Fauci, who his job required him being technical. It's a technocrat by definition, and it's no clear example than him. As of today, even all his political decision is made. Even the fact that his position was heavily, heavily politically induced and motivated, but still it's trying to. He's now telling us that I am just a technocrat. I don't do politics. Isn't that remarkable? Let us punch out that comfortable lies right about now. There is no such thing as a pure technocrat in governance, in governments. Even the likes of Dr. Chidi party themselves as a technocrat. By the time their preferred candidate get into power, appointments will start flowing here and there. And when the right time comes, the push comes to shove, they'll be also has to campaign for their same gesture leverage that was extended to them. There is no such thing as a pure technocrat in government. Every budget line you sign, every infrastructural delay you excuse this, and every regulatory chokehold you enforce in a political act with human casualty. You cannot averse the peg, the influence, and the budgetary muscles of executive office, and then hide behind the pseudo academic title. The moment the bill comes due, governance isn't consultancy gig. Mbano. You own the fallout just as much as you own the blueprints. When the going gets tough, when it goes, it gets sweet. When you got appointment, you will sell a fucking Brighton, doing what you know how to do best, taking part salary. Also remember, there will come a time where your door will be knocked and your expertise will be needed. Just like as the APC national chairman is saying that every appointment that is given to you by the Bola Tinubu administration, the bill is due, stamps to pay up. Stamps to pay up. Every 4 years, we watch opposition coalition wake up 6 months before election day, panicking, scrambling for various hashtags, and expecting thousands of volunteers to magically materialize out of thin air. It doesn't work that way. Nope. Incumbency doesn't fall to last minute manifesto or 11th hour outreach. It holds the treasury, it holds the bureaucracies, and it holds the machinery. To break that, an opposition cannot afford to improvise. It's happening right now in the home of NDC and ADC. The work doesn't start 6 months before the ballot. It starts on the day, on the one of the current administration. Just like as Bola Tinubu announced, few seconds or few minutes after he was sworn in, subsidy is gone. 4 years, 4 years of precinct-level mapping, word by word, local government by local government, building independent data verification network, embedding organizers in a local market, and adding a volunteer army bricks by bricks. If you aren't organizing grassroots logistics today, you are not running an opposition. You are just hosting a week. Does that sound familiar to us? Obedience? When I say the game is over, even before it starts, that's what I mean. Let's do the 4 year calculation and see where they were. If they got it right or where they missed the point. Before then, let's hear from.
And so these are all the things that are happening. So there are reasons for everything. That, for instance, all the noise you're hearing now about politics in Akwa Ibom, Edo State, Rivers State, and rest of it. It's funding. Elections are coming. Who will man the purse? I was speaking with Obasanjo one time, and he told me, he said, he listed some things. I said, those are the things that are necessary to find the chat. Should I find the chat?
Find the chat. That would be interesting.
I'm just going to read the chat. He said, so no, for him, it was like he thought I was going to go into politics. So he was very happy when I was talking with him. He said, Ali, I'm happy that you are now.
I don't know what kind of witchcraft you practice, because I was going to ask you
about the relationship with him.
No, not just about him. You said he thought you were going to go into politics. I was going to ask you why.
Why I did not. I'll get to it. So he says, He says, Ali, I'm going to read that. Ali, I'm happy you are catching on with politics, but you still have a lot to learn. And I said, like what, sir? He said, like how you get governors and presidents elected. So you need 7 governors to win an election. Lagos, Bayelsa, Delta, Rivers, Kano, Kaduna, and the CBN governor.
To win at federal level, a presidential
election. You need 7 governors. 1, Lagos. 2, Bayelsa. 3, Delta. 4, Rivers. 5, Kano. 6, Kaduna. 7, the CBN governor.
So you just, without, even if you are a political novice,
you know what all this means.
Understand the permutation.
Exactly. And so when I said, but Kano and Kaduna don't have much. He said, that's for numbers.
For numbers. True. For numbers.
He said, and what is money? That's numbers too. All right. He goes to say, you need 44 of the most popular senatorial districts. He said, you need to have awarded 10 contracts, and 15% of that contract can give you marginal impact at the polls. And you must award these contracts in your first year of assumption of office.
Whoa.
Because if you don't do that, then you can't ask the people for anything. Because when you give them at the first year of your getting into office, when it's time for elections, you just tell them, do you want to continue this contract or... they know what to do. He said, you must name your CGN, you must name your IGP, you must name your Controller General Customs, you must name the head of the NNPC, you must name your CBN governor. And if you want to get into the duty, you must suspend pending cases of corrupt past governors who are loaded. Don't forget that those guys have chests.
War
chests that's just sitting down waiting for who they want to align with. No matter how much EFCC milks from them, they still have plenty. These are people who were sitting on a monthly federal allocation. Don't forget that sometimes when your federal allocation, like some states will mention, when they get their federal allocation, they don't touch it. They actually add to it because their state internally generated revenue is higher than what the federal gives to them. So if federal government gives them 3 naira, they can add 4 naira to it and spend 7. So when they leave office, EFCC can't come look for them because they added money to what federal government gave them. But you see that internally generated revenue, that is their sweat, as it's called. It's their money. They generated it themselves. They can determine anything they want to do with it. Lagos State internal generated revenue is higher than what federal government gives them.
So Obasanjo just seized it for like forever.
They call this bluff.
Nobody cared.
They call this bluff. That's what we used to pay salaries. Just, and then it says, yes, this is the meaty part of it. Say, get US or China support. Because of their businesses in your country, they would support whoever. You heard the fallout from the Senate in this thing that said how they helped Buhari to get into office and remove Jonathan. National Association of Nigerian Students. NANS. Market Women. NURTW. Unsettled the organized labor.
Settle or unsettle?
Unsettle. Now, organized labor is where you then have people who protest. We are not this, we are this, and we are supporting that. We don't like this. All of that. Comment. There's one other. Get 10 of the richest Nigerians on your side. And we know the usual suspects. Infiltrate opposition parties and let them decamp before election. So you have your party. I want to infiltrate the party. I'll send my people to leave my own party and join your own party before the elections. So when the time of elections comes, they will then disrupt the whole thing. They probably will be the ones they put in charge of electioneering campaign. You won't know that the reason they decamp from that side was to make sure that your own campaign doesn't succeed. So when you are planning and saying, no, this is what we'll do this, they inform those people that this is what they plan to do. So by the time...
And later on, you will hear they are going back to their old party.
Exactly. Then they, you know, somebody did it where he said, oh, he was supposed to be, I think Ashiwaju's campaign guy. Then he left to go and support the guy from Kano. You know, sometimes when these people say some things, you know, you have to respect this. Infiltrate opposition parties and let them decamp before them. Buy delegates 1 year before your congresses. 1 year before the congresses, buy them. So I asked, how do you buy congresses? It's okay, so this is what you do. You know who and who will be selected as delegates. You can permutate and say, this man will be delegates in another 4 years. You give 2 of his daughters jobs in a bank. You give this other person's wife a shop in so and so place. This other person wants to go to Hajj, they go to Hajj. This one wants to do something. When the time for election comes and you say, this is the person I support, because of those people that you have given, they won't mess up. While some people are trying to raise money to give dollars to some people, you already have bought their loyalty since. Have a hand in appointing all party chairmen, all parties chairmen, all parties. So it's not. So when you hear that 2 people are gunning for an office and you are not in the party, you call the other parties running against him. Say, you want to be chairman? We'll fund you. Right. Secure INEC and state rec, blogs and social media, religious leaders, royal fathers, appointment of board of chairmen and DGs. It says, refer to number 2. Get 4 constitutional lawyers on retainership.
Let me tell you one reason why Tinubu will win again. Not because he's doing exceptionally well, but because the opposition are exceptionally useless. Every one of them. Election is every 4 years, 4-year cycle, just like the Olympics. There's a reason they make it like that. Staff to plan, to organize, to mobilize, to do whatever. Even the person who will win this Olympic, he will have to start afresh again to defend his title. That means he has to go back to ground zero. From that very moment he won that Olympic, he has to start applying for the next one to defend it or even to make the team at all. The same thing with presidential election. Either you win or you lose. It is a known fact that 4 years from that day, there will be another contest. Regardless if you are the winner or the loser, everyone has to start again, afresh, ground zero. So it's not even guaranteed that the guy who won the incumbent will make the cut, even get the ticket. That's why it's 4 years. That's why the argument that Dr. Chidi is making that Bola Tinubu signing the police bill now is too close the election, he will use it, he will manipulate. It doesn't matter. At 4 years, a serious politician, a professional politician, see every day, every minute, every opportunity as a contest, every policy as a contest. They know they wait to the last minute. So the 4 years calculus of real opposition. Let's see if the opposition actually did what they were supposed to do. Do to even stand a chance. Waiting for an election cycle to begin the quest, the quietest way to lose. If you are waiting for the election cycle to begin, it's the easiest way to lose the election. Because the winner, in other words, the incumbents, started the very minute they swore in as president. He started campaigning for the next election because he started his appointment on that very moment, appointing chief of staff, so this, so that. That is the beginning of the campaign for the re-election. And now that's what the APC chairman came out to say yesterday, that everybody that was given an appointment, it is not enough for you to be parading yourself as a technocrat. Duty calls. It's time for you to dust off your boots, roll up your sleeve, and start mobilizing people. We are going to war. So you as an opposition, knowing that is the reality, you have no choice than to start campaign the very next day you lost election. If you have intention of running again, because everybody has to go back to the drawing board. You have to start that very moment. No be 2 years later, 6 months into the election. Mbano. So if you are waiting till that last minute, that is the beginning of to lose it. So in a political engineering, an opposition party or coalition cannot improvise an electoral machine 6 months before a poll. An opposition party or a coalition cannot, I repeat, cannot improvise an electoral machine 6 months before a poll. It has to construct, stress test, and embedded its infrastructure years in advance. That's why you have to buy delegates a year in advance. That's why you have to pay for media houses, newspaper, content creator years in advance. Because the incumbent candidate, now in business be that from day one, all these appointments are well calculated, orchestrated. If I give these guys minister, what can it bring a return? No be the job when the one can do. No. How many votes? How will that impact my re-election? That's why everybody that is serving in any government has a connection, has one godfather from somewhere, or he has worked diligently to earn it, that position, or he has the potential to bring our fortune to there. So you as an opposition, knowing that this is the reality, don't be saying I wish you, it's the reality. That's why they give appointments. That's why they are creating military base, all this appointment. Now the landlord, the owner of the vehicle, the driver, the APC chairman has come out to say, come. It's not enough that you come into the system as a technocrat. You are appointed as a technocrat, as an expert, as a specialist. It is not enough to hide under that title. You have to roll up your sleeve and contribute to the process that make that office possible for you. Those are their agents. If Bola Tinubu is, if the administration applying to recruit about 26,000 military men, those are agents. All the forest guards, those are agents. All the state police, those are. Every appointment is an agent, a polling unit agent potential. So the opposition, you also have the same time to prepare. What were you doing? We'll get into it. So for our opposition party or coalition, cannot improvise an electoral machine 6 months before a polling is cast. It has to construct stress test and embed it in its structure years in advance. If an opposition intends to pierce through entrenched incumbency like this one, the timeline begins on day one of the current administration. On day one. No be the next year, no be in the Nigerian case, 2023, that same year that the election was lost, you start. No be the next year. Now, year one, what is expected of you year one as an opposition? Just like as a professional Olympic athlete, things are expected of you. You're expected to build, and year one, you load yourself, you build more muscle, you build more endurance, you do more long run, you spend more time in the gym. That is not the time to concentrate on speed yet. It's time for everything. But anyway, the foundation and ground renaissance. That's year one and year two. That is your foundation. That's where you do your groundwork, everything. Now you have to start from local government, no, polling unit level mapping. From polling units to one, you start as analyzing them from one polling unit to another. How many agents you need here? What kind of agents do you need in this place? How many population did this polling unit? How many of them are well off? How many of them are educated? How many of them understand in the tree? How many of them are? I mean, you analyze this thing from one ward to the other, from one local government to another, from state to state. That is the job of the first year. Regardless of who you is, you win or you lose, but we are focusing on position. By mapping them out like that, building a political movement from the top down is fatal error. Gone are the days where you start everything from the top. No. Organization must start at the polling unit level. Organization must start at the polling unit level. If you are paying attention to American politics, Democrats are engineering their political party from the grounds up. They started by the mayoral display. They organized for the mayor of New York to be victorious. That's a local government chairman in the Nigerian context. That's why they started what they expected to take full form by 2028. They are moving from there now. They are organizing, mobilizing, financing, doing everything for what ahead of the midterm break. That's how you start. They never even know who won't become president yet. Everybody interested. But that is not the concern. You have to focus on that local government level. Get the work done. Organization must start at the polling unit level. Identifying local grievances, mapping community leaders, and auditing voter register. Exactly. You say, okay, how many people did this polling unit? 20. How many of them are educated? Oh, 5. How many of them are economically okay? 11 of them. Okay, how many children? How many of them are eligible to vote? How many of them? What is the problem within these 20 people that live there? Are there any fallouts? What kind of religion? These are the things you put into cognizance the first year after in an election cycle. Now you move to recruiting and vetting your comrades, your agents, the cadets, people we go, who will stand as a structure for that particular polling unit. You mobilizing thousands of voters requires establishing disciplined local chapter. That was my first question to the obedient leaders then, the likes of Kenetokunko, the Aisha, and the rest of them. Say, come, election not finished. What is the next goal? The momentum is still there. Emotions are still high. Obeying is still very much catchy. I expect you guys to go to work. Now lose the election, fine, but that is not the end. And I know why now lose. Take the message. Make sure you institutionalize what obedience means at the secondary school level, the university level, market women level. I was saying all this in verbal at that time, but they thought I was crazy. They already saw. So we are no longer interested in the election again. He is now our president. He is a criminal. I'm not like just talking about him. They're talking about the next competition. You are still going to compete, whether you like it or not. And it is not up to you to decide which election you are going to be interested in. I said this verbally all the time. Not be you, it's not up to you. The state will frustrate you. They will drag you to the point that you begin to spend your hard-earned resources for the election. People thought I was just sounding like a madman with a smoking gun. We are here. You cannot jump there step to step. You know, if you jump year one, year two, and you say you won't win Olympics, it doesn't happen. It's not, no, who be you? You have to work. Regardless of how everything become internet wise, via everything online, that's not rubbish. You still have to do the dirty, the grind work. We are dealing with human beings. So mobilizing thousands of volunteers require establishing disciplined local government chapters. These individuals cannot just be social media sympathizers. They must be boots on the ground, organizers embedded in local market, union, and neighborhood network. You have to. There's no way. If you say, oh, why the APC, the people in power are not doing it, who tell you they need to do it? If I go this polling unit and find out there are 2,000 people they live there, definitely they will have a leader, a king, somebody they respect or anything. All I need to do is to identify that person, give the children employment or give them appointments. That polling unit is covered. So you that don't have the leverage to offer direct, now promise you go promise, you have to find a way to stay with them. Let them see you in their daily quiet. They go their burial, naming ceremony, celebrate with them, cry with them. That is how you build trust. That is how it will be very difficult for the person in power who is expected to do more. You put pressure on him and just give an appointment, he will be forced to do more for the community or he loses. They must be put on the ground. There's no way. At the talk, I was giving them idea that I say, how much does it cost them to have 3 to 5 people or 2 to 5 people in every local government? Your rent shop for them. Maybe they come there every 2 to 3 times a week, and they will just appear for a place. The whole point is that it's for the locals to be connected, to reach out to the locals direct, ask them question, what are their feeling, what is going on. At least if you go any local government, if you are Want to know more about the obedient movement? You don't need to they look for news or anything. Just walk to that place. Just like when would they do phone calls those days? Everywhere there's a phone call, MTN there everywhere. The church people know how to do. They go on fishing every day. They plant people every church every year, and then the same process. That is what is expected of you. That is how you put your boots on the ground. Then you move to the next round, countering apathy early. You know that the number one goal of the government of the incumbency is to disfranchise people from voting. Because the more less turnout people, the better, the more effective way you were able to rig the process. That is your point of a voter party. Discourage as many people as you can. And the easiest way to do that is through fear. Put fear for people mind. They no go come out come vote. Entertain them, they will go forget the apply. So, but how now that you know this is our reality, what do? You started early again from that year one. Dissolution voter, dissolution voters do not rally to last minute manifesto. Sustain engagement on bread and butter local issue. Build the baseline trust necessarily to turn out a hostile or indifferent electorate. If this community know that you are with them, when they were mourning, you are there with them. When they are celebrating, you are there with them. When they are going through whatever, you are there. You are there, not me. You, as that person, you are constantly with them. Know your agents are on ground. Then know this person is here on your behalf. When you show up every time, when you need them, they will show up to you. No amount of money where they go to want to buy them. Free erase that memory that they share with you of you showing up when they are down, showing up when they are celebrating. Feel their pain, their pride. Trust me, when you engage them long enough, you stay with them long enough, you created infrastructure for them to take advantage of it long enough, they will show up when you need them. That's year one. It has to start from that very moment you lose your election. Then you move to phase two, which is pretty much we're now approaching year three. Structural integration and data system. Now you don't they are put to your year three be that of the electoral cycle. You have to preparation. Election are rarely lost solely at the ballot box. They are lost in collection and transition blind spots. Now, year three must be dedicated to building independent data gathering network and training domestic observers on legal safeguard. When they come and they run their mouth for Abuja, election must electoral act has to be nada. All those, so y'all are wasting your fucking time. Are wasting your time. Go to the interior, go and meet the people and sanitize them. Start building structures, leverage among the people. Start educating them on what they're about to do, how they reach the first one, how they are still going to do that, what is in play. Consolidating coalitions. Fragmented opposition is a gift to the ruling establishment. Negotiation, compromise, and structural alliance must be locked down long before primary season to prevent chaotic factional infringement. If to say Atiku no do all this thing, the obedience would have overrun him for ADC because they no come to share, they don't come to align, they don't come to give, but they come to take everything. But Atiku being a man of process, don't put all these things down long before. So the negotiation, the compromise, and the structural alliance must be locked down long before primary season. Long before primary season. That's 2-3 years ahead to prevent chaotic fractional infringement. Now, logistic and resource pipeline. A volunteer army require logistical support. So when I say it doesn't cost more than two to pay them like this because they are can volunteer say, "Oh, Tuesday to talk to people. And people go know they go to show up. They won't know what is the big deal about this new candidate, about this new party. But that requires logistics. Transportation, communication mode, and logo defense. During those years of donor cultivation and financial transparency. Yeah, that's why this one job when they're supposed to say, okay, this is how much we use as a logistic support to 5 local governments in Meduguri, or 5 local governments in Edo, or 7 local governments in Onitsha, or anywhere. Guess what? It will encourage the donor to give more. It will encourage others to give more. Because that's how you sustain a system. Now, the final phase, the electoral year now, because it's 4 years. You have to do all this thing as the year progresses. If not, any step you miss, even God no go save you. Total mobilization and execution year. That's the year 4, which is the year we are now. If you no do all those things, year 1, year 2, year 3, and you come year 4, can't say you won't mobilize. Remember the word mobilize, not organize. You won't mobilize to execute. I'm sorry. The other guy who did year 1, year 2, year 3 accordingly, you know, if you beat him. That's why they said talent. That's why they say hard work beat talent when talent refuses to work hard. The final campaign sprint. By the time the final year arrives, the opposition should not be looking for volunteers. I don't talk this thing 2-3 years into this electoral cycle. You have to start mobilizing volunteers. They should be deploying an already drilled apparatus. That means you don't train them, you don't master everything. The focus should shift entirely to narrative dominance, vote protection, operation, and turning out the mobilized base. Now let's look at it one by one. Dominating the narrative dominance. Obedience, no, they even start any narrative, say they won't dominate them. They only defend a narrative that is put before them. And if you look at it classically, you are working overtime. While your competitor are very clear in what they are going. So they think dominating the narrative on the internet is what do you mean by dominating? No. The narratives on the internet were produced to you. In other words, you're produced for you to chew over. So narrative dominance, voter protection. No, the opposition have not, they don't even understand what that means to even think they want to use it. And turning that mobilized base, that's where the problem lies. Defense of the votes, the final 72 hours and election day itself require an active physical presence at every coalition center to guide against administrative manipulation of vote buying operators. If you don't have volunteers, if you have not trained volunteers, if you have not identified and map out the polling unit first in your day one, you did not organize and establish local government units in year two, and year three, you did not integrate all unorganized going to deploy last year to the polling units. That's the question. What are you deploying? The reality, incumbency owed the treasury. That's where the money is. The bureaucracy and the security apparatus. An opposition can only counter that weight with a deeply rooted, highly organized, and fiercely loyal grassroots army, built brick by bricks over 4 uninterrupted years. Uninterrupted is the word. It has to be consistent. And if you know, any opposition know that he did all these things, she has nothing to worry about. But failure to do any of those steps, we go pray together. And hopefully God will answer our prayer. The classic retreat behind the technocrat shield is a time-tested survival strategy in governance, but it fundamentally misreads the social contract of the public service. They can give you appointment to you to come and serve the public, yes. But it takes a process, it takes sacrifice to get you to that point. And we're about to embark on that journey again. And we are saying, take out your technocrat act and get to the field. Jesus is going to be war. That's what the APC chairman is telling all the appointees. It's time to do the do.
And so these are all the things that are happening. So there are reasons for everything. That, for instance, all the noise you're hearing now about politics in Akwa Ibom, Edo State, Rivers State, and rest of it. It's funding. Elections are coming. Who will man the purse? I was speaking with Obasanjo one time, and he told me, he said, he listed some things. I said, those are the things that are necessary to find the chat. Should I find the chat?
Find the chat. That will be interesting.
I'm just going to read the chat. He said, so no, for him, it was like he thought I was going to go into politics. So he was very happy when I was talking with him. He said, Ali, I'm happy that you are now.
I don't know what kind of witchcraft you practice, because I was going to ask you
about the relationship with him.
No, not just about him. You said he thought you were going to go into politics. I was going to ask you why.
Why I did not? Okay, so no, I'll get to it. So he says, hey, wait, okay, yeah. He says, Ali, yeah, I'm going to read that. Ali, I'm happy you are catching on with politics, but you still have a lot to learn. And I said, like what, sir? He said, like how you get governors and presidents elected. So you need 7 governors to win an election. Lagos, Bayelsa, Delta, Rivers, Kano, Kaduna, and the CBN governor.
To win at federal level, a presidential
election. You need 7 governors. 1, Lagos. 2, Bayelsa. 3, Delta. 4, Rivers. 5, Kano. 6, Kaduna. 7, the CBN governor.
So you just, without, even if you are a political novice,
you know what all this means.
Understand the permutation.
Exactly. And so when I said, but Kano and Kaduna don't have much. He said, that's for numbers.
For numbers. True. For numbers.
He said, and what is money? That's numbers too. All right. He goes to say, you need 44 of the most popular senatorial districts. He said, you need to have awarded 10 contracts, and 15% of that contract can give you marginal impact at the polls. And you must award these contracts in your first year of assumption of office.
Whoa.
Because if you don't do that, then you can't ask the people for anything. Because when you give them at the first year of your getting into office, when it's time for elections, you just tell them, do you want to continue this contract, or they know what to do.
That's exactly what the APC chairman meant. But what he said yesterday. By saying, he was telling all the contractors or the appointees of this government that you can't hide behind technocrat title to avoid political responsibility. At the time it is, they are called upon to play a part.
He said, you must name your CGN, you must name your IGP, you must name your Controller General Customs, you must name the head of the NNPC, you must name your CBN governor. And if you want to get into the duty, you must suspend pending cases of corrupt past governors who are loaded. Don't forget that those guys have chests.
One of them.
War chests that's just sitting down waiting for who they want to allow.
Erufai is still in jail because money no day. The Kaduna that was included among the 7 states that must be won, that must be on your side to win the presidency. Kaduna is in that list not because of the money that is coming to the states, but the sheer population, the sheer numbers of the citizens of the state. Now, in the Erufai case, 2023, APC lost Kaduna State to PDP, to Atiku. So, in other words, it's of no use. It's useless. You can afford to put him in jail. If I Yakowa, on the other hand, Abba, let us say they receive money, even though they spend a chunk of that money vying for vice presidency with Atiku, but he was still able to elude the prosecution. But it's not just doing that, the guy just follow Oshimole's advice. Join APC and all your sin will be forgiven. So he has money to contribute and he has made the right call, the right move.
Align with. No matter how much EFCC milks from them, they still have plenty. These are people who were sitting on a monthly federal allocation. Don't forget that. Sometimes when, your federal allocation, like some states will mention, when they get their federal allocation, they don't touch it. They actually add to it because their state internally generated revenue is higher than what the federal gives to them. So if federal government gives them 3 naira, they can add 4 naira to it and spend 7. So when they leave office, EFCC can't come look for them because they added money to what federal government gave them. But you see that internally generated revenue, that is their sweat, as it's called. It's their money. They generated it themselves. They can determine anything they want to do with it. Lagos State internally generated revenue is higher than what federal government gives them.
Obasanjo seized it for like forever.
They call this bluff.
Nobody cared.
They call this bluff. That's what we used to pay salaries. Just and then it says, yes, this is the meaty part of it. Say get US or China support because of their businesses in your country. They would support whoever. You heard the fallout from the Senate in this thing that said how they helped Buhari to get into office and remove Jonathan. National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, Market Women,
NURTW.
Unsettled the organized labor.
Settle or unsettle?
Unsettle. Now, organized labor is when you then have people who protest, we are not this, we are this, and we are supporting that, we don't like this, all of that. Comment, there's one other. Get 10 of the richest Nigerians on your side. And we know the usual suspects. Infiltrate opposition parties and let them decamp before election. So you have your party. I want to infiltrate the party. I'll send my people to leave my own party and join your own party before the elections. So when the time of elections comes, they would then disrupt the whole thing. They probably will be the ones they put in charge of electioneering campaign. You won't know that the reason they decamp from that side was to make sure that your own campaign doesn't succeed. So when you are planning and saying, no, this is what we'll do this, they inform those people that this is what they plan to do. So by the time...
And later on, you will hear they are going back to their old party.
Exactly. Then somebody did it when he said, he was supposed to be... I think Ashiwaju's campaign guy. Then he left to go and support the guy from Kano. Sometimes when these people say some things, you have to respect this. Infiltrate opposition parties and let them decamp before them. Buy delegates 1 year before your congresses. 1 year before the congresses, buy them. So I asked, how do you buy congresses? It's okay, so this is what you do. You know who and who will be selected as delegates. You can permutate and say, this man will be delegates another 4 years. You give 2 of his daughters jobs in a bank. You give this other person's wife a shop in so and so place. This other person wants to go to Hajj, they go to Hajj. This one wants to do something. When the time for election comes and you say, this is the person I'm supporting, because of those people that you have given, they won't mess up. Why some people are trying to raise money to give dollars to some people? You already have bought their loyalty since. Have a hand in appointing all party chairmen, all parties chairmen, all parties. So it's not. So when you hear that 2 people are gunning for an office, and you are not in the party, you call the other parties running against him. Say, you want to be chairman? We'll fund you. Right. Secure INEC and state rec, blogs and social media, religious leaders, royal fathers, appointment of board of chairmen and DGs. It says, refer to number 2. Get 4 constitutional lawyers on retainership.
As the law of winning presidential election by Obasanjo, authored by Ali Baba. 2027, quit if you can't campaign for us. APC tells Tinubu technocrats. That means appointees. The ruling of Progressive Congress, APC, has 1 political appointees serving in the government of President Bola Tinubu. that they cannot hold political position while claiming to be technocrats. Detached from partisan responsibility, insisting that such appointee must be ready to mobilize support for the party or vacate their office. You know the grammar where they speak. Those are the agents. They are only unit agents. From the minister to the personal assistant, everybody that is indirectly, directly eating from this government, you have to work now. Either you be pastor, you be imam, you be doctor, you be engineer, you are a law, whatever the fuck title that brought you to work with this government, it's time for you to put up campaign ads and the slogan, Renew Hope, City Boys, and what have you. Get to work or go home. APC National Chairman, Professor Ned Tawi, gave the warning on Wednesday in Abuja when he received numbers of the Progressive Local Government Chairman Forum, led by the chairman of Changa Local Government in Niger State, Dr. Mustafa Jibrin, who briefed him on the group grassroots mobilization drive ahead of the 2027 general election. These are, these are people who are already motivated by appointments. Now, the people who Alibaba is referring to, you get them, appoint them way ahead. When the time comes, you call on them, and that call is being Yelwata, that is the APC chairman, said the council chairman being closer to the people than officials in Abuja. Those are the people who are put in charge of what? Polling units. Now, they will also not delegate that responsibility or join force with their councillors, then their PAs. And the whole process is complete. They will mobilize voters. They will be the polling unit agents, the coalition agents. I don't think you need anything more than that. The official in Abuja were better positioned to identify appointee who were failing to deliver. That is talking to the local government chairman. They are in better position. It's true. Failing to deliver politically in their words, regardless of how well they perform administratively in their office. What a better way to actually police them too. See, the incumbency has so much leverage, so much power at their hand. So now, not that those appointees will serve as a polling unit agent, they don't even need to be paid specially for that because they are already being rewarded by the position they are occupying. But most importantly, there are more than one or two eye on each of those agents. I mean, appointee. There's no difference. Ordinary Nigeria will be watching. Anyone who did not perform to expectation, they will snitch. This crowd is not snitch. They will, in order for them to be replaced. What kind of motivation is more than that? Now the opposition, now that not that you don't have to have your own polling unit agent, you must so have to pay one or two people to put their hands on them, to put their eye on them, in order for them to do their own. Because them too could serve as a snitch to be called later on as a PA. So this APC drive is strong. It said the council chairman, being closer to the people than the officials in Abuja, were better positioned to identify appointees who were failing to deliver politically in their words. Regardless of how well they perform administratively in their office, you see, got to do the dirty job. It is you who will tell me that this commissioner is not working. Maybe he is working in the office, but politically he is zero in his word. It is you who know whether this director general may be working in the office, but politically he is zero back home. He said, ha, I like this one. The chairman said appointees could not distance themselves from politics simply because their title carried technocratic descriptions. Comparing such claim to someone denying their ethnic identity despite carrying it unmistakably marker. Child, who then they shoot that shot? Amechi. Name na Igbo man, but he dey deny say he be Igbo. Wike. It's all right. It's okay. Say appointee could not distance themselves from politics simply because their title carried technocratic descriptions. Comparing such to someone denying their ethnic identity despite carrying their unmistakable marks. We call them political appointee. There is a word politically there. They are not just technocrats. They are political appointee. Hmm. That's a fact. You can't be holding a political position and then say you are not a politician. I have been hearing some people saying that I am not a politician, but they are holding political appointments. It is like somebody who has Yoruba or Kanuri tribal mark telling you that he is not a Yoruba or Kanuri man. It cannot happen, he said. Now, I think this is a shot also to southeastern appointee who are caught in between the oaks. Eh? Morally wise, but unfortunately, there's nothing like that in politics. But the society that we live in still put moral as a top standard to hold. So in morality demands that they support their own kind. They support Peter Obi, which is not a crime. But politically speaking, ah, it's forbidden. So to the southeastern appointee, I don't feel your pain. I don't envy you. You see it, you are enjoying it. I believe in you. You can do it. You can find your way out. Ah, so according to him, appointee who wanted to avoid politics altogether should decline political appointment. Supported, yes. In the first instance, adding that the party mobilization efforts depends on votes rather than office holders, who saw themselves purely as administrators. If you don't want to be politicians, don't take a political appointment. Bam, Shikena, I support it. We work to mobilize votes. Without the votes, we can't be in office. That is why we need you to work with these people. Tell them they are not doing well. Tell them where we need them to work harder. Tell them where we have leakages so that we can win the election, he said. Receiving the briefing from the local government chairman, assuming the assuring the group of the party full backing for their mobilization activities, including plans to inaugurate the Forum State Council coordinator and organize a mass endorsement rally for the president in Abuja. Child. We will support you. We will stand by you. We will ensure that we have a strong partnership that will give this party a strong victory in 2027, said. The chairman pledged that the party will personally join any mobilization effort organized by the forum without waiting for formal invitation, liking reluctance to participate in such efforts to someone who is hungry but insists on being invited before eating. You have to be ready so that you don't have to be ready. Earlier, Jibrin had informed the national chairman that the Progressive Local Government Chairman Forum now has the backing of over 685 local government chairmen and 31 state governors under the platform, and that the group was targeting at least 70% of vote cast in the 2027 election for the APC. That's a goal. To which Edo State, led by the practical governor himself, Akpako Rescue, 2.5 million votes. He said the forum enjoyed the support of the governor of Niger State, Muhammad Umar Bago, who nominated him to lead the group, and disclosed plans to mobilize all 685 council chairmen alongside their councillor for a formal endorsement of President Tinubu re-election bid on the dates to be fixed by the national chairman. I dey laugh because the next thing now I go see obedience to bring up their own too. They won't mobilize for the endorsement of OK. Power by Village Boys movement. What a guy. Ah, what a story. What a time. This is a good it's a good fly. What a way to sing the whole the whole factions, groups out there in one to one machine. That's what I've been talking about. Anyway, if you have been following this platform, you you will totally in sync with me that we've been talking about this since 2023. I've been asking questions, not just question. I've been making suggestion. I've been saying, "Come, this is it." Kilo Quency. What to be this obedient guy? Um, uh, Playtown. I tell her, say, come. You are quite popular within the obedient family, and you have direct access to Obi. You know who need that. You can start organizing town hall meetings. Let me and you don't talk this in here. Start doing it. This is way back in 2023, 2024. Just going from you would have, if I don't get big by now. I went on Omoye's corner and I suggested that come. You know, you're also one of the top obedient top content creators. Obi name is a cash cows out there. And I think we're talking about women and we're speaking of women. I say, well, you can start mobilizing women under the umbrella of the obedience. and start doing. I mean, there's so many suggestions, even to the Kennets, that I've seen no reason why there's no obedience on secondary school campuses, college campuses, just holding conversation on obese policies, ideas, philosophy, whatever the fuck that they believe on, you know, it's town by town, local going by local, school by schools, market. I mean, these are the things I have been putting forward since I have come to times with the legitimacy of their movements, even though not organic, but there's a legitimacy to it. And nobody hits to my foolish suggestion. And it's turned out that that's the only thing you need to stand a chance. But most importantly, it turned out that the government in power are doing it, which is pretty unusual. Good luck do have for waiting to know they do in terms of how he's putting foot on ground to make sure say something the party holds coerce everyone and every other thing, directly and indirectly. And good luck for not coming for power now. Uh, you know, for making hell for the opposition, just like Tinubu is making hell for the opposition. Not directly, but that's how the game is played. They are just ahead of the game. They started when a 4 year cycle. You don't wait till the last year to start running a cascata. Tinubu started campaigning for election from the fucking moment he was sworn in by appointment, by policies. Whether we like it or not, this removal of subsidy favor a group of people. That's one. The appointment, up to today, they must still the appoint. Still giving appointment. And now the national chairman is calling on those appointees to turn to agents. Literally. That you are not just appointed to be a technocrat, you're also appointed to be an agent, a polling unit agent. You are being tasked with the responsibility of mobilizing voters. That's literally what the chairman is telling all the appointees. And I'm waiting at the top. From 2 years ago, I begin to say, if obedience are actually ready, by that 2 years ago, they should have nothing less than 20,000 agents, volunteers, that at least they show up to one local government office or school or place 2-3 times a week. Imagine that they do until that time now. How about? Good luck in buying people within that place that they are holding this kind of a meeting. Good luck. But what is the APC doing? APC, they make sure they appoint people every day, every fucking time. They are now those are their agents. Police bill is way underway. By the time they finalize that, how many people will come out from there? Those are agents. 28,000 military recruits. Those are polling unit agents. How many thousand forest guards? Those are polling agents. Shout out to my governor, Okwaolo. Don't put them to use already. Those are polling unit agents. All the ambassadors, they are polling unit agents. All the PAs, they are polling unit agents. All the ministers, they are polling unit agents. Every appointee, no matter up there you are now tasked to deliver your units, deliver your polling units. Our opposition wanting when they want start, not to the shouts. They never even find their spirit. Just wait. Next, as soon as 2027 finish, see the way Atiku go take approach 2031. This everything what they thought so now they go do. It's either he revive PDP or he go back to APC. But that's the only way you become president of Nigeria. APC or PDP. Forget the PDP, the way they never die. They're coming back. But yes, there's work. Just like the Olympics that they talk Presidential election is like the Olympics. You just cannot come out 2 years, 3 years to the Olympics, say you go win Olympics. It doesn't happen. It's not possible now. Everybody is training. There are so many, but everybody, if you are not training, your opponent is training. How you want to beat them? Hard work beats talent anytime, any day. It's a 24 hours profession. Athletics and running for president and politics. That's why I fought Chidi, Professor Chidi. When they fought Tinubu, say Tinubu will take advantage of state police for election. That's a fact. He will also take advantage of the state police, even though he passed the bill that same day he announced that subsidy is over. It's also a fact. So for different those are lazy arguments. Stay in your lane. Stay technically, forget politics. So a politician every day now competition, every day now campaign, every policy, every move, every crisis, every murder, every bet. It's an opportunity. They will factor in how will this hit my next move. So to say nah. So every year for that 4 years now political season, every move you make. But you have to show your workings. So when 2023 finish, they started by say it's not my president. We reject the president. These are energy wasted. They've spent first 2 weeks to like 2 months focusing on Chicago. That's the most stupid and dumbest move ever made. Government is busy putting their foot on ground. The decision they make, the decision Bola Tinubu make the first 2 weeks, of administration, now carry and see it's still what we are seeing today. Actually, they call the cry, say nah, because of the life, man. These people, they can be annoying. They spend that time. From as they don't find anything for Chicago, they come straight to Supreme Court. Waiting then do that their slogan again. All eyes on Supreme Judiciary or some nonsense. Spend good on all that. I think the first 3 months was wasted on this kind of nonsense. Energy, resources. Yeah, he's not my president. Yeah. If from there they use the following by the following 6 months, they all this solution. The obedient has been wounded, they've been discouraged. Like nobody cares about election anymore. They will not be interested in anything. I just shut the fuck up. I don't know what you that they talk. Tell them I say now go decide who's the election now will take part. No, it's not up to you, motherfuckers. It's up to the states to determine if you are going to be part of this election or not. Like I say, I see today. See, today now they are all up in arms. One force everybody to dance to their tune. The man you are competing against, no be Jew. It's not somebody you, no be, no be riffraff. Is a fucking bonafide. He's not even a student of Nigerian politics. He's one of the administrators. He has a chapter in the Nigerian political history. A full chapter that he authored. But there was no chance to beat him. The way it was open, it was very open. That very moment they declare him the winner of the election, knowing that the legitimacy of the government it was not 100% accepted worldwide, so he has to work his way from pretty much ground zero. What do you do at that time? You capitalize on that curiosity. Go down to the people. Start grouping those grievances, those anger, those annoyance. Put them in group. Establish leadership among them. Followed by creating a network in between them. That's where the leadership framework come in. Then find a way to funnel in resources, to mobilize logistic communication and all that. You just sustain that momentum. But no, they went to sleep. Like the first 6 months, they beat themselves up. I remember the slogan there. Everybody go chop the breakfast. And I know that they always jump the 8 hours. Any platform I go. You have the breakfast. Is it still hot? Then the following year, they begin insult and just, name calling and like as if nothing will happen again. Why the government is still making appointments, oiling the structures, giving appointments, Well, you know, battling legitimacy across the globe. Till to the point that the government almost come to a halt with a bomb blast, strike Sokoto from Tomahawk tanks, and the country went dark, quiet, silence when it comes to at the executive level because the man disappeared. That's the best I can describe of Tinubu, December 2025. He disappears. Nobody know where he go. Was he in London? Was he in France? Was he in Washington, D.C.? But that wasn't even what baffles me the most. The fact that every other power broker in Nigeria also went quiet. I say, what the fuck? Everybody, both the Islamic State movement, oh, the Christian, everybody, the traditional power brokers, the intellectuals, the agberos, the who that is who when Nigerian power is concerned, when mute, when quiet for the first 2, 3 weeks, and the president was nowhere to be found. And I said, oh my word. And not just that, politically speaking, there was no opposition in sight. And when I know, say, okay, ah, it is happening. The world indeed has changed. World War III is happening. The opposition out loud all of a sudden become quiet. I say, oh, what is happening? President, the country has just been struck in the name of fighting terrorism and defending Christians. In none other place but the caliphate capital. Ah, rather than sending a shockwave across the Sahel, rather send silence. Silence for the first 2, 3 weeks. Quiet. I say, huh? This is indeed a colony. A colony. Our president spends the new year outside up to today, only God knows. France, London, Maiduguri, Onitsha, what? Don't know, it disappears. And the only conclusion I could come up with was whenever Tinubu decided to come back, I hope it would come back. I hope peace accompany him. Or another Tomahawk missile, and I go follow and come. That's the only conclusion I could come up with. Wherever he goes, na deal he go make. That day we either go through or we fell off. So if we go through, we'll come with peace. If not, missile go accompany him. To God be the glory. I think he came back relatively peace accompanying him because you know reach 3 months again. Another Tomahawk missile. Bam bam bam. I was like, holy fuck. Ah. But looking back now, looking back, I would say that was the test of his re-election. And if you ask me, I'll say I think he won. Whatever deal he struck. Boya he went to renew the recolonization paper because I'm allowed to think wild because no explanation was given. No explanation is being given. Matter of fact, nobody's asking question. Maybe the only madman that is that curious. But definitely the opposition don't even give it back. Because that's the thing one should capitalize on. Where then go sign the colonization paper, the agreement, or transfer to another empire, whatever the fuck Bola Tinubu went to take care of, he did it pretty good. Because even after the Tomahawk missiles, boots were sent to be on ground, which is also a new thing. That's why I say Nigeria has changed forever from that point on. But a lot of people don't understand yet. Maybe if you're going Third World War, enter the next phase, things will begin to make sense. But by that time, we will forget how it all started. But it's coming to the next level. I mean, with Zelensky taking a shot at the Russian ship fleets to Iran a couple of days ago, pretty much all you need to know that, and with the Russian even coming out to officially declare that we are at war with Ukraine. China, for the very first time, passing bill to enable the government to go after anybody outside its shore that says or does anything negative or speak politically within the ongoing feuds within China and their cousin Taiwan. They can be legally prosecuted. That is new. That means they can legally go after you. That means it's the first steps to go after Taiwan. And I guarantee you, when that happens, North Korea will want to go after South Korea. India with Pakistan. Of course, Israel, Iran. And the terrorism network in Africa will be on a full scale. maybe by then things will begin to make sense that we are indeed in a new world. But just like Bob Marley said, they don't know the hour because they are looking for power. So Nigeria changed from December 20, practically changed from December 25th, 2025. And as I said, fast forward to today, I have so much confidence that Bola Tinubu has struck a deal that will enable him come back for the second time easy, smoothly, and with a landslide. But not necessarily because of the deal, but because the opposition failed woefully. They ain't doing shit. They are not doing shit, but they are just happy to be in the game. I challenge anybody. Obi is just happy, will be happy to make the final. As I've always said, so every major championship, any major competition, there are always three winners. The eventual victor, the trophy winner, the gold medal winner. That's one. And what set that, before I go to what set them apart, that's the first winner. The second winner is the other man, the other guy who is just happy to make the finals. Just happy to make the finals. Once I'm in the final, oh, glory be to God. I am among the best in the world. I am among the top three, top eight in the world. So, yeah, that's the second winner. The third winner is the guy who just happy to be in the championship, who just happy to be there, just happy to be, say, yeah, officially, I'm an Olympian. I mean, what I've been to the World Cup, I've been to African Championship, I've been to Nigerian Championship. I have contested to be Nigerian president. Will now be referred to as what ex-presidential candidate. So those are the three winners in every major championship. So is the presidential race. Now, what set them apart is the ethics they are working at, their attitude towards the goal they set for themselves. The guy who eventually won the trophy, his training, he is not doing anything different, but he's doing things in a different way. That's what set him apart. Because on that very day, it's not just the man in terms of Olympics 100 meters, 100-meter Olympic. It's not just the man with the speed that come true at the end of the day, but the man with the heart. To have the big heart takes work. Then the man whose goal is to make the finals. God damn, once I make it to the finals of the Olympic, men have arrived. Of course, his appearance fee is going to be increased. Is maybe just being at that final, making the first in his country, his first in his region. I mean, so many other first can come in just being in the final. And so, as in this presidential race, you can tell Obi is just fighting to make the cut. Even his followers have read into that belief. Obi must be on ballot. Obi, we will make sure Obi is in the ballot. Obi will be in the ballot. And I also agree with anyone that says that, yes, being in the ballot stand a chance of winning. Yes, I agree. Just like my coach once said to me, Coach Akiade, when I was in Ibadan, Liberty Stadium, 2006, if I'm not mistaken. Coach Akiade, former military guy for the Civil War, he said a game of final is a game of anybody. I agree. Well, not a luck, but as I said, hard work beat talent anytime, any fucking day. A game of final is a game of anybody. So that is one argument that those who believe in a good presidency are also saying. But the man himself is struggling to just be in the final. Then the third winners, based on their set goals to just be among, to be in the championship, to be in the Olympians, to be, you know, to say yes, I am a presidential aspirant. Those are the likes of Showores, the likes of Ilonkwe, Adebayo, and co. They will fight tooth and nail. They'll fight harder than even the eventual winner because it is also a win. It's as good as winning the championship, just being referred to as a presidential aspirant. So they will do everything to make sure they make the cause. That's why she would form a political party and did everything to meet INEC requirement as so every other political party. So when you understand competition from these three dimensions, you know go the you know emotionally nobody will be able to manipulate you because you will see really from their doings, from their activities, from the one, from the day. Because now 4 years, now electoral cycle. There's somebody who preparing from Olympics from the 4 years up to 4 years ahead. The way in go the train, the way in go the chop, the way in go the go, how in go the sleep. You will notice a lot of change from that day, from that very moment. Why the other person, the other you see another person again, yes, who has the potentials to be at the Olympic but doesn't have the goals of winning, he will still do regular things like every other person. And until the that minute you go see the things begin change for him. But the guy that set out to make changes from day one, I think we can put our money down that person will always everything goes well, will always come victorious. So if you look at our elections, especially this election, you have to start assessing it from day one. From the day they declared Bola Tinubu winner, the next day, from that day they know that there's going to be another election, and everybody will stand on equal ground again as a candidate. Both the guy that was just declared a winner and the guy that lost, all of them will start on a clear sheet. So you have to go back to start analyzing their activities from that day on to now. I guarantee you everything will clear. Who is preparing to win? Who just wants to make cuts? And who is just happen to be called an expert? From that day, because I will make case for the Tinubu administration that from that day, from that hour, that minute, I don't think it's up to hour. From that minute he was sworn in, he started dishing out policy that he knows if he capitalize on those policies well, he will help him for re-election. And that is why he said subsidy is gone from that moment. An appointment follows suit. Chief of staff, chief of that, chapter this, that. And guess what? Those things never stops. Up to today, as we speak, I guarantee if you go look headline, you see say Bola Tinubu appoints so person, director of so this. And that is across the states, from federal to local governments. Never stops. And you now look across the eye of the opposition. What have they been doing since that day on? Complaining, crying, insult, nothing other than that. Then and now they begin tidying things up, begin one do crash program, as we always say. Now, when championship don't start for Nigeria, at least now they give them grants. Eh, when the championship ground, when the competition venue, now they go begin give grant, give money. What the fuck is that supposed to do? That's not going to motivate me enough to beat my opponent. My opponents will they don't give money 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years ahead. How? But that's who we are. So you can always tell at every instance what went wrong and what you did right or wrong. You will see. But you have to have a competition mindset to be able to approach it because it's a competition. That's why I'll be at the end of only of my argument. I say, we will see that competition. You can be all emotional all you want. You can speak grammar all you want. On that day, show me your numbers. How many people can you able to take to the polling unit and go win? Don't be who made the best grammar, best presentation, be all emotional. It doesn't fucking matter. After all, they say the lady or the lady law is blind, so is power. Now who go first reach out, now he go follow. Who grab power, now he power they follow. No be who they talk. So it's a competition. When there's a competition, that means it involves you. It involves you and other people. So the mindset you should have is that any minute, any seconds, any day that goes by that you don't train, your opponent is training. That's just it. If anything should motivate you, should be the fact that there's somebody who wants the same thing that you want, who is probably trained. And even though he know the training, but you just have to have the mindset that he is training. So every moment, every second, every day that goes by, you either add it as a plus or it's a minus. Just like America. As an adult, every day that goes by, you either making money or you are spending money. It's as simple as that. Every day, either you spend money or you make money. There's no in between. So that's one cardinal rule of the competition. I got hope for that, man. If I no train today, man, that motherfucker is somewhere training. So you have to constantly. When I first start, just like first start track, my first Coach Lati Obisheson of Lagos. He say every day you go to train. The only time you are not training is when you are dead, asleep. You don't sleep go. Even that one self not training because your body is resting and that spirit is just recovering. Now, he said if you dey walk as an athlete, if you dey walk, you have to be each your step. First of all, he said you don't run on the ball of your foot. You don't run on your toes. Because a lot of people ask people how they say people will say you run on your toes. No. If you cannot stand on your toes, you can't run on your toes. So you run on the ball of your foot. Because when you're on your motion, you're praying each of your leg, they carry almost twice your body weight. Now, how do you master that? So even when you are walking, you have to make sure you are tapping on the ball of your foot. Now, if you are in public, people might take notes of how you are moving. They fit say you decrease or you dey bad. But hey, now only you know what the goal is. They don't know, they are not supposed to know, but it doesn't matter anyway. So once he successfully implant that thing in me, once you don't successfully put that on my head, anywhere they go, if you see me for shopping mall, anywhere, traffic, you know, so you see where they bounce, think I'm bouncing, but I'm trying to master how to walk on the ball of my foot. And another way to see that is when you see athletes lying on the starting block on your mark set, when the gun go off or your man said go, the shoot gun these days, that sound that come off the gun, it literally take everything where they teach you come off for your head. The only thing that your body, your soul remember is what you feed your muscle memory. So if theoretically it's always on your brain that you should be walking, anything you are doing standing should be on your ball of your foot, and you put into practice every day you go out on practice, it's your 4 days it takes before your body memory, your muscle memory actually register anything. That's why they'll tell me you call one name 4 times. I think your memory will register just like muscle too. So if you just like if you start gym, body go start to dey pain you, your body will start aching like hell because you don't go full stress for your muscle. But if you can stay to go the first day, second day, third day, fourth day, your body go dey used to it. Now, there's another way, another logic to this. If you don't do ice baths, if you ever done ice baths, like load a drum, whatever, bathtub, or you go for a professional ice bath. To sit on a ice bath is as painful as anything you can think of. But if you can sit on it for 2 minutes, 2 minutes, you can go 2 hours. But that 2 minutes, I say good Lord, it's possible. Not that it's not possible, but that's the height. Once you can beat the pain of ice bath for 2 minutes, you can stay in that ice bath for 2 hours. So muscle memory for 4 days. 4 days. If you want to memorize names, say 4 days, 4 times. Again, Olympic cycle now 4 years. Presidential election now 4 years. So there is method to the madness. That means the intensity that when they put for this election, the final year, had to start from year one. The aggressiveness that you are putting into mobilize money to put resources out there to make sure your name, your advert, you get air, you are on every platform, you're everywhere at the same time. That was the same energy that is required of you from 2023. Same thing 2024, same thing 2025, 2026, no different, 2027, no different. Because as a professional athlete, by the time they shoot that gun, everything that you have verbally taught disappears. Now your muscle memory will now kick to action. When you're supposed to maintain your speed, when you're supposed to drive, all those things. Now, if they your body, is that why if when people see sprinters driving out of the starting blossom, you see them close their eyes, they know they look where then they go. Once you cross their front, they go hit you like saying a car hit you. That is because they don't think you they don't think the way you expect them to think. No. They everything now locked into the muscle memory. Allow the body to do its work. So the same thing. The energy you are putting on the election year, the same thing is required of you from the first year one. That's why Bolaji Tinubu start with that same energy. Energy of subsidies go and maintain and they deal with everybody up to this point. If you disagree with me, so as you was president in America just 2 years ago, you know go know. He go choosing a Trump, but he wasn't Trump. That's how it game works. Trump coming with energy that's like an extraordinary human. They just they load the presidency back to back. The media were confused. They don't know which headline to follow. Steve Bannon call it flood the zone with so much nonsense that you overwhelm the media. It wasn't, it's not just an overnight realization or by something we just come to their head. No, when Donald Trump lost the election 2020, he started saying no lose the election, that election was rigged. He never backed down. But so were his network, the grassroots mobilization organization, they never backed down. In fact, they turbocharge their workings because they believe in the man, say the man will come back. They believe they won the election. That is what they believe. They were working with that in their heart that if we want this election, means they rob us. So we are going to work 2 times harder to make sure that they cannot rob us. But most importantly, we are ready to die here. That's what happened to the MAGA movement and the Donald Trump network and everybody. Donald Trump doubled down on his claim that the election was rigged, that it was stolen. And so were the Democrats, they give them back to back. They need that. Law, the lawfare, it come from everywhere. Accusations coming from anywhere. Most were being making to take him from the ballots. They tried to assassinate him. That's why when the big come out, they was saying, shut the fuck up. They want to assassinate. Shut the fuck up. If you are not equal, if you are not up to the task, get the fuck off the way. Give road to other people. It is what you sign up for. You know this. Don't come and bombard us with all emotional crap. Why Donald Trump was going with them head to head at the firearm, the network was hard at work. These motherfuckers were planning from that fucking 2020. They only went sober for a couple of days. They came back, set up think tanks. Those in charge of the deplorables were going on campus, were overwhelmed with Tony the Point America led by Charlie Kirk. Like everybody was up and doing. In Nigerian case, the only person that was up and doing was Obi. I give it to him. Obi stay the course. He never really left. Never really left. Was everywhere. Donating money to nurse, being attacked by everywhere. Those things go out tell him that, hey, we know your move. This stage is not for for Riaza. But the man keep going. I have to give it to him. Obi stayed the course. That is what is expected of him. He believed the election, he won the election, everyone was stolen. He stayed the course. But the question is, where is the network? That has been my question from 2020 fucking 4. And he has these fools, these people, where is the leadership at that level? Obi did everything more than is expected of him. He stayed the course, and it's been they come after him every way possible. But where's the network? That's where they lost the election. That's where they lost the election. I've seen it. They don't lost that. Tinubu win not because of what he has done necessarily, because what the opposition failed to do. Atiku used obedience set up, you know, use obedience, take ADC to mainstream overnight, blew them up, take them to national, international even. Then now Congozo is using them to to market himself in the south. I mean, they are useful after all. They are useful.
And so these are all the things that are happening. So there are reasons for everything. That, for instance, all the noise you're hearing now about politics in Akwa Ibom, Edo State, Rivers State, and rest of it. It's funding. Elections are coming. Who will man the purse? I was speaking with Obasanjo one time, and he told me, he said, he listed some things. I said, those are the things that are necessary to find the chat. Should I find the chat?
Find the chat. That will be interesting.
Let's find the chat. I'm just going to read the chat. He said, so no, for him, it was like he thought I was going to go into politics. So he was very happy when I was talking with him. He said, Ali, I'm happy that you are now.
I don't know what kind of witchcraft you practice, because I was going to ask you
about the relationship with him.
No, not just about him. You said he thought you were going to go into politics. I was going to ask you why.
Why I did not. Okay, so I'll get to it. So he says, hey, wait, okay, yeah. He says, Ali, okay, I'm going to read that. Ali, I'm happy you are catching on with politics, but you still have a lot to learn. And I said, like what, sir? He said, like how you get governors and presidents elected. So you need 7 governors to win an election. Lagos, Bayelsa, Delta, Rivers, Kano, Kaduna, and the CBN governor.
To win at federal level, a presidential
election. You need 7 governors. 1, Lagos. 2, Bayelsa. 3, Delta. 4, Rivers. 5, Kano. 6, Kaduna. 7, the CBN governor.
So you just, without, even if you are a political novice,
you know what all this means.
Understand the permutation.
Exactly. And so when I said, but Kano and Kaduna don't have much. He said, that's for numbers.
For numbers. True. For numbers.
He said, and what is money? That's numbers too. All right. He goes to say, you need 44 of the most popular senatorial districts. He said, you need to have awarded 10 contracts, and 15% of that contract can give you marginal impact at the polls. And you must award these contracts in your first year of assumption of office.
Whoa.
Because if you don't do that, then you can't ask the people for anything. Because when you give them at the first year of your getting into office, when it's time for elections, you just tell them, do you want to continue this contract, or they know what to do. He said, you must name your CGN, you must name your IGP, you must name your Controller General Customs, you must name the head of the NNPC, you must name your CBN governor. And if you want to get into the judiciary, you must suspend pending cases of corrupt past governors who are loaded. Don't forget that those guys have chests.
War chests
that's just sitting down waiting for who they want to align with. No matter how much EFCC milks from them, they still have plenty. These are people who are sitting on a monthly federal allocation. Don't forget that sometimes when your federal allocation, like some states will mention, when they get their federal allocation, they don't touch it. They actually add to it because their state internally generated revenue is higher than what the federal gives to them. So if federal government gives them 3 naira, they can add 4 naira to it and spend 7. So when they leave office, EFCC can't come look for them because they added money to what federal government gave them. But you see that internally generated revenue, that is their sweat, as it's called. It's their money. They generated it themselves. They can determine anything they want to do with it. Lagos State internal generated revenue is higher than what federal government gives them.
Obasanjo seized it for like forever.
They call this bluff.
Nobody cared.
They call this bluff. That's what we used to pay salaries. Just, and then it says, yes, this is the meaty part of it. Say get US or China support. Because of their businesses in your country, they would support whoever. You had the fallout from the Senate in this thing that said how they helped Buhari to get into office and remove Jonathan. National Association of Nigerian Students. NANS. Market Women. NURTW. Unsettled the organized labor.
Settle or unsettle?
Unsettle. Now, organized labor is where you then have people who protest. We are not this, we are this, and we are supporting that. We don't like this. All of that. Comment. There's one more. Get 10 of the richest Nigerians on your side. And we know the usual suspects. Infiltrate opposition parties and let them decamp before election. So, you have your party. I want to infiltrate the party. I'll send my people to leave my own party and join your own party before the elections. So when the time of elections comes, they will then disrupt the whole thing. They probably will be the ones they put in charge of electioneering campaign. You won't know that the reason they decamp from that side was to make sure that your own campaign doesn't succeed. So when you are planning and saying, no, this is what we'll do this, they inform those people that this is what they plan to do. So by the time...
And later on you will hear they are going back to their old party.
Exactly. Then somebody did it when he said, he was supposed to be, I think Ashiwaju's campaign guy. Then he left to go and support the guy from Kano. Sometimes when these people say some things, you have to respect this. Infiltrate opposition parties and let them decamp before them. Buy delegates 1 year before your congresses. 1 year before the congresses, buy them. So I asked, how do you buy congresses? It's okay, so this is what you do. You know who and who will be selected as delegates. You can permutate and say, this man will be delegates in another 4 years. You give 2 of his daughters jobs in a bank. You give this other person's wife a shop in so and so place. This other person wants to go to Hajj, they go to Hajj. This one wants to do something. When the time for election comes and you say, this is the person I support, because of those people that you have given, they won't mess up. While some people are trying to raise money to give dollars to some people, you already have bought their loyalty since. Have a hand in appointing all party chairmen, all parties chairmen, all parties. So it's not, so when you hear that 2 people are gunning for an office and you are not in the party, you call the other parties running against and say, you want to be chairman, we'll fund you. Right. Secure INEC and state rec, blogs and social media, religious leaders, royal fathers, appointment of board of chairmen and DGs. It says, refer to number 2. Get 4 constitutional lawyers on retainership.
Also, a blueprint of winning presidential election. Why show? Well, show we na OT in the pick up again. Wetin OT do am? Show is looking for. Is looking to make national headlines. Every business necessary. A campaign strategy na fire. So what is you are a massive scam. So what a blast OT over 200 million campaign fee. Obedience will come after him. Fine, like the whole southeast will come after him. All the southeast political conscious out there, they will come after Showore. You don't touch that jewel of the southeast. So let it go. The, Yo, man, leave me alone. Let's see. Confirm waiting. You don't even know what you're talking about, nigga. Um, that's a minute. Okay. So that's just what this paper is saying. The presidential candidate of the African Action Congress is Omole Shore has berated the governor of Abia State, Alex Oti, over his latest directive on political campaign advertising permit fee. Okay, now I understand. Now I understand. For you to come out and display your your posters in Abia, you pay 200K and show it. But I don't understand now. You know, is it also applied to governorship candidate because you can't tell a citizen to anyway, make I continue. So for campaign permits, the Abia State structure for signal for signage and advertisement agency. There's so many parts to this this thing because I remember when was it Soludo he did the same thing during last election. Hey, well, no rule anyway. I think the same thing in Lagos. Lagos either captured every APC captured every signage board or something like that. So So the agency are doing a stakeholder forum on Wednesday announced that presidential candidates will pay 200 million. Okay. While governorship candidates will be required to pay 150 million for political campaign advertising fee. So what of if the state governor, if the state governor want let's let go pay? Well, see, voila. They go say APC na bad. APC is struggling opposition. What would they tell OT? What would they tell OT now? Labour Party. I wait. I go wait for those people that will come after Showore. Wait till they go talk. If to say na, wait till they go call Labour Party. Because that's the Labour Party government. That's the Labour Party government. So let me continue. Senatorial candidates are also expected to pay 100 million, while candidates for the House of Representatives and State House of Representatives will pay 50 million and 20 million respectively. That's reacting in the post in Vex, Alex Oti has become one of Nigeria's biggest political disappointments. So the opportunity you will take. Yeah, it is a massive scam, and the full extent of that scam is still unraveling. Showore wrote. Showore is being prosecuted by the Department of DSS over alleged criminal defamation before Justice Mohammed Umar of the Federal Republic. The former presidential candidate of the African Congress is facing charges over alleged. Okay, whoever wrote this piece now, nah, now what is supporter. That's why they include all these parts to it. Justina Otio. So there's crisis in OK movement. So Peter Obi is not happy about the whole situation. One Koso spokesperson speaks of crisis in OK movement. That's interesting. That's interesting. Interesting. Was it the spokesman for the former governor of Kano State, Rabi Ukonkoso Ladipo Johnson, has confirmed that the Nigerian Democratic Congress (NDC) presidential candidate Peter Obi is unhappy over a growing leadership dispute within the campaign bloc OK movement. While acknowledging the tension had surfaced within the movement, Johnson described the situation as a temporary setback rather than a major threat to his political objectivity. According to him, disagreement within the movement has become a distraction at a time when supporters are expected to focus on strengthening its structure across the country. No, this is the time to deploy, not strengthening it. Johnson further stated that the dispute stemmed from difference between some members and the leadership of the movement, warning against action that could create division among supporters of the proposed Obi Kwankwaso alliance. Kwankwaso added that Peter Obi had already been briefed on the situation and was displeased by the ongoing disappointment. He said, "Yes, we have. I call it a distraction at the moment. It is not such, in my own humble opinion, that will lead you to make on unilateral action that could possibly scuttle or bring bad blood between supporters based on the person you purportedly want to become the president of the country. I saw the presidential candidate last night along with the DG, not happy about the whole situation. I'm not gonna say to before Bola Tinubu go on settle una. Ah, Atiku condemns assault on Tinubu supporters, warns against political violence. Where's that coming from? So, former vice president and presidential candidate of the Africa Democratic Congress in DC, Abubakar has condemned the assault on the supporters of President Bola Tinubu during a political event in Delta. He argued that no Nigerian should be attacked for expressing political views regardless of different opinion. What did I want to do now? Who then? Who and meet? Who and me? Who and me to? All right, we'll call it. Come back to you later. Like, share, and subscribe.